which is exciting. Last time you sketched it out, showing the three characteristics, exaggeration, abstraction, and simplification. So you're going to make your mask three-dimensional on these plastic face forms. But first of all, you need to lay out this scrap paper on your table and put it lengthwise. So you have two pieces on your table, and everybody will share that spot. So to get started, you have to write your name on a little sheet of paper, dip it, because it makes it stick to the mask. I just dipped it in water and put it face down because you are going to be building your clay on top of it. If you put it this way, your name will get covered up. But if you put it upside down, we're actually going to pop the mask off of this plastic face form, and you'll be able to see your name on the bottom. So to get started, this is the Celluclay. It's kind of sticky. I have found that if you wet your hands, it doesn't stick as much. But just wet it minimally, okay? You don't want a big slimy mess and you don't want your clay to be like running off like a mudslide off of your face form. So wet it and then grab it, and what you want to do is pat it pretty thin, okay? Really about between 1/4 of an inch to like 1/2 an inch at the very thickest, okay? And you can see I got that pretty thin, okay? You don't want it thick. It's just going to make your mask heavy, and it's going to be wasteful. And then you want to lay it down. You can see there's a plastic ledge. You want your mask to come all the way right down to there. That's going to help give you a nice edge. And each time I really have to wet my hands, but again, don't have excess, okay? And just like you're making some burgers with beef, that's really what it feels like, pat it flat, and then just let it smooth. Again, you can see I'm wetting my hands and then patting this. The other thing is when I pat it, it gets rid of the cracks, okay? Because if you have a crack in your clay, your mask isn't going to be as strong. You can see I've got a crack there. I wet my hands just a little bit, and it really doesn't take long, okay? So you're going to cover your whole face form, okay? Making sure to go all the way down to that ledge, okay? You can see I'm starting there, and then I'm just kind of sliding this in place. And I had some extra, but I pull it back. Again, don't let the clay go past this ledge to the outside. It's going to fall off when you try and pick your mask up. And should it stay for some reason, it's just going to look kind of sloppy. Anyway, so it doesn't take very much time, okay? So let's say I've got my whole face form covered. Then I just want to go back and kind of smooth it up. I'm using just a little bit of water, okay? I really want to stress that. If you use too much water, it's just going to be really slimy, and your clay could eventually start sliding off, okay? But I've got it nice and smooth. Now is the part where you actually get to be creative and make your mask on top of this face form, okay? First of all, for example, I want to make my nose, and you want this to be three-dimensional. This is sculpture, after all. And so I'm going to grab out some clay and just start forming those forms that you see, okay? Here's might be my nose, and I can attach it across the forehead. And if I just put it on and leave it there, it's probably not going to stay very well. What I want to take my fingers, and just like I'm working with a ceramic clay, kind of smooth that into place, okay? And I always want to get things really nice, okay? A nice surface. If you've got a kind of like kind of a lumpy surface like that when you start or when you finish it, it's just going to be really difficult to put your paint on that. So you can see I'm working to smooth it, and water can be helpful. Again, not too much water. You can make eye holes. Actually, I encourage it so you can see through your mask. And to do that, you just stick your finger in and wiggle it, and you've got an eye hole, okay? Stick it in and wiggle it. I don't want you to make a mouth hole down here. The trouble is if we start getting too many holes in the mask, it could break eventually. So you can do that. Also, try and make things three-dimensional. You can see I've kind of looks like life preservers around my eyes. And I encourage you to try and make those things as 3D as you can, okay? And again, if the clay gets too sticky, just dip your hands in the water and keep going. So you're going to have this whole class to build your face form, but that's it. You have to be done at the very end of class, which shouldn't be a problem. And then all that extra clay, if you have any at your table, go back in those buckets or tubs, whatever you have. And that needs to be saved because it can be reused and it's kind of spendy. And have fun. It's a fun project, and I'm looking forward to seeing them when I come back next art class. Thanks.